Hi Virgo, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot, getting ready to do your January 2019 forecast. So let's see what's going on with you guys. It's the start of a new year. Let's hope there's something good going on. If you're new to the channel, I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, here we got a bunch of cards, okay. Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. I live in Carmel, Indiana, and I usually pull out or let fly out 4 or 5 or 6 tarot cards, read those for the energy. Are we looking at life, love, career, health, or whatever, and then clarify with some different oracle cards. So right now, we have the 8 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. Okay, the 8 of Pentacles. I love these cards. Love, love, love them. 10 of Cups in the reverse position. The Devil came up. The 7 of Cups upright, and the World in reverse. Wow, this is some heavy duty stuff. Okay, so the 8 of Pentacles says that you've been working really hard. You're starting to see some fruition happen with projects that you have been working on, and that aspect is good. You've planted some seeds, some stuff is starting to grow. You're seeing your hard work coming to surface. The 10 of Cups means to me, if this was in the upright position, that would be kind of like happy family, happy endings, but it's in the reverse position. So that's telling me that maybe your focus has been on work a little bit too much and not on your family, and some of your family members are not happy about that. Perhaps the reason the Devil card has come up is because you have been working obsessively. Maybe you're a workaholic and you're out of balance really, really bad. And the Devil card usually has something to do with obsessions, addictions, something not necessarily good. The 7 of Cups, to me, always looks like you've got lots and lots of options there. And that can be a bad thing or a good thing. Sometimes I feel like you may be reaching, let's see if this makes me happy. Let's see if this makes me happy. Let's see if this makes me happy. And you try all of these different things, trying to find the one thing that's going to make you happy. And that doesn't work, so let's try this. That didn't work. Let's try this. Let's try this. And you just keep kind of going through these things when you really kind of need a balance of all of them. And you tend to be very focused on one thing at a time. And that's why you get out of balance so bad, is because, you know, you need a maybe 20% here and 20 here and 20 here, and just, you know, kind of balance it out a little bit more instead of going 99% on one thing at a time. The World coming up in the reverse position tells me this is probably a fated event or a big change is coming up. I think, or I feel, that you have finally realized that all of this searching with the 7 of Cups that you have been doing has, you know, you've been doing that for so long, and finally realizing, you know what? I tried this, I tried this, I tried this, I tried this. I tried to eat myself to death. I tried to shock myself to death. I tried to work myself to death. And nothing was satisfying that big giant hole inside of you. And now it's kind of like you're having this epiphany of, okay, I need to flip this world in the upright position and get things moving in a happier, and just get happier, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is, you know, maybe you spent 20 years trying to do it your way, and now you're kind of realizing, okay, I give up. I'm going to try the way everybody else keeps saying is going to work. So let's talk about what is going to work. I want to do some emotions cards. Let's see what kind of emotions that you... Okay, let me think. How do I want to word this? What kind of emotions are you dealing with that you try to numb yourself with? Okay, so what are you trying to numb by working too much, eating too much, shopping too much, whatever you tend to spend your time doing more than anything? What exactly, since the Devil card came up, that makes me think that you're numbing. So what is it what emotions are you trying to numb? Now, I can tell you this, there is nothing in here that says sexual trauma. But in my head, I kept hearing sexual trauma, sexual trauma. So for some of you, and this could be for one person, this could be for a group of you, I feel like there's some sexual trauma that happened in your lifetime, whether you were raped as a child or whether you were raped in college, or there was some inappropriate sexual behavior somewhere in your past that you are trying to bury. Again, that's not going to be for everybody. But if it's talking to you, it's talking to you. So that card isn't going to come out. That's what I'm trying to say. That card is not going to come out, but I feel like that is a specific message for somebody out there. Somebody or a group of people out there. So you are not happy because the happy card just came up in the reverse position. You're not feeling grateful for what you have. You have a lot of anxiety and worry that you are trying to numb. And I also feel like, okay, this comes, okay. So, well, my mind's going, I started to say this comes up a lot. This doesn't come up in my readings a lot, but this comes up in a lot of other things that I see, is comparison. People comparing their life to social media crap. You know what? There's not a whole lot of good about social media in certain respects. When you, first of all, even I look at that and I think okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time getting this out. There's a lot of stuff going through my head. I have bad days. I don't necessarily want to be around people on those bad days. And I look at social media a lot of times, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, and I kind of don't do it a whole lot anymore because I kind of think, God, everybody, there's this one person in particular, she posts these pictures and it looks like her life is perfect. And I think to myself, there's no fucking way her life is as perfect as she tries to make it off to be. Because so that makes me feel like it's very fake. And I've gotten to the point now where I quit paying attention to it because I'm thinking that can't be true. I don't know anybody in my life that has 7 perfect days in a row very often. I mean, you could have a week where you have a perfect time, maybe you're on vacation. But when real life gets in the way, you have a bad day. You get emotions that crop up. You get angry. You get sad. You get lonely. You get depressed. And social media makes it look like, some people make it look like that never happens. And so when you're comparing yourself with other people on social media, it makes you feel bad about yourself because you're like going, why can't my life be perfect like that? Well, I want to go, sweetie, it ain't gonna be perfect. Humans aren't perfect. So quit comparing yourself to the fake shit that's online. And that's part of where some of this anxiety comes from, is you looking at other stuff and thinking, oh, I should be doing that. That's going to make me happy. Well, I should be doing that, you know? So I don't know. I'm sorry to get on my soapbox here, but that felt like that was what needed to be said. You are lonely. I always find it interesting. Half of these emotions cards are good. I counted them one day. There's like, I don't know, 50 cards, and you know, almost half of them are good, happy, positive cards. But when I'm doing these readings and asking specific questions, I always find it interesting that the negative cards come out when I'm looking at blocks. Now here's one that says relieved, but I'm not sure what that means. So, just as I said, excited. Oh, maybe you're feeling relieved and excited about this message that I just sent you. That you don't have to feel like you're perfect all the time. Unfulfilled just fell out, and encouraged in the reverse position just fell out. So anyway, those are kind of the emotions that you're dealing with. I just keep hearing comparison. You're comparing yourself to a bunch of fake ass people is what part of the problem is, and you need to stop doing that. And surround yourself with true and real friends, people that you can talk to when you're having a bad day, people that will talk to you when they're having a bad day, so you don't feel like you're the only one that's struggling with this stuff. And if you have to, you know, find a support group or something that shares the issues that you feel like you are the only person in the world that has this problem. Because trust me, you are not the only person in the world that has whatever thing that is going on with you that is making you feel unfulfilled and lonely and worried and ungrateful and unhappy and all the other negative emotions that just came out in this reading. So I need a drink. And no, it's not alcohol. I really don't drink alcohol. I have a hard enough time keeping my foot out of my mouth. I don't need any help. Okay, so what's the next thing that I want to do? Actually, I have some new cards here. They're my essential oil cards, my essential oil tarot cards, which I find interesting. And they have, I'm just going to grab one. Time, bravery, and resentment. So each oil has different emotions that you can work with. So since we're working with a lot of emotions here, negative for the most part, there are essential oils out there that can be used to help alleviate some of those. For instance, there's one called Serenity that's for anxiety, that helps calm that kind of thing down. Lavender's really good for that. I was stressed out about something last week, and I felt like I was literally having a panic attack, and so I dumped some lavender under my tongue, and about 15 minutes later, that went away, which is a lot better than what I could have done, which was eating myself silly, or if I drinking a bunch of alcohol, or if I was a shopping, trying to make that empty hole feel better. So I just used some lavender and it calmed me down. I also made, God, how many years ago? 4 years ago, I made a healing heart blend because I wanted to meet somebody and I felt like I had some blocks around that whole thing. And so there was a book that had all these different emotions in it. And I picked out the emotions that I felt like I was dealing with, which was abandonment and father issues and self-body issues. And, there was a whole host of different emotions and issues that I felt like was my reason why I was still single. So I made up this healing heart blend and I used it every day and had a little mantra that I said. And then it wasn't long after that I met somebody and started dating. And so I am a believer that essential oils can help with emotions. So let's just see what comes out as maybe some essential oils that could be used to deal with these emotions that you're having, besides maybe something negative, which means, when the devil comes out, it's usually something obsessive or addictive or something like that. These cards are kind of hard to shuffle, so, okay, let's see what comes out. I'm trying to think of what question to ask. Give me cards that can help with these negative emotions that Virgos are dealing with. Give me cards to help with emotions that Virgos may be dealing with. All right, one is Cassia, strength and confidence. If you don't know what Cassia is, it basically tastes, it's similar to cinnamon. It's kind of from the cinnamon family. Neroli, cause and effect. That actually is from the orange blossom. It also comes in, that's kind of like the Empress, if you look at her. It's very feminine, has to do with sensuality, sexuality, female sexuality, although it's not on there. I just happen to know that. Lime is entertainment and delight. And clary sage is intuition, clarity, and cycles. So you get what I'm saying with just different oils deal with different issues somehow, and you can kind of put your own together and deal with whatever you need to. Okay, let's see. What other cards? I want to get, where's my sacred power cards? What do I want to ask? What healing, what advice do you have for Virgos for healing and getting more balance? What can you, okay, truth, and I feel like that is being truthful with yourself as far as, and take it, well, and it also has take the mask off, which kind of goes along with, remember I said everybody on social media, and I shouldn't say everybody, many people on social media are wearing a mask. And if you are comparing yourself with those people, then that probably means you're carrying a mask or holding a mask or wearing a mask because you feel like that's how you're supposed to be. So you need to take the mask off and be real. Be real with yourself. Be real with the people in your life. Ask for help when you're having a bad day. I have one specific girlfriend. I can remember I was having a bad day and I knew I needed to have a good cry. And I called her and she goes, "What's wrong?" And I was sitting in the parking lot of a CVS and I just busted out crying and then spent 20 minutes crying. And I'm going, I don't know what's the matter, And it was just like, I knew I had all these emotions that were bubbling up. Sometimes I don't know what it is, but sometimes I can talk it out with a friend and figure out what's bothering me. Journaling, you know, I am big on journaling. To go deep, to figure out what's going on. Compassion. Have some compassion with yourself. I think you're very hard on yourself. I think you have a lot of expectations. I would also imagine you're probably somewhat of an overachiever, and that's why you have this perfectionism trying to be. I also, that says soul journey on it. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like that goes along with the world. This is part of your soul's journey, is to realize your imperfections are exactly where you're supposed to be. Which also brings up another thing. Brene Brown has a book, Brene, B-R-E-N-E, Brene Brown, The Gift of Imperfection. Awesome book. I did it at book club last summer. I highly recommend getting that because it talks about how to be authentic and let the world see your imperfections, and how people prefer to see imperfections because they have imperfections, and nobody wants to think that something's wrong with them because they're the only ones that have those bad days. So, okay, here's a couple more. Let's see what this says. Abundance. I think you feel ungrateful about what you have in your life, and you need to recognize that you have a lot of good. And if you focused more on the good that you had in your life than what you don't have, I think, one, that would make you a lot happier, less worried, less anxious, less all of these negative feelings that you're having, if you just would be more grateful for what you had and quit thinking that outside sources is what's going to make you happy, like the Seven of Cups. You know, always searching for all of this stuff to make you happier. And use your intuition for what it is that you need to, you know, go within and figure out how to get that balance. So, okay, I think that's it for now. That feels like it's done. That was an awfully long video and a lot of information. If anybody has anything to say, if you have any constructive criticism, I am always open to that. I hope you all have a good January, and I will see you middle of the month. Thanks a lot. Bye.